How many of you like to read when you were a child, and how many of you like to read now? Margaret Fuller once said, "Today a reader, tomorrow a leader." Young generations are not reading enough due to an over-reliance on technology. Reading opens and promotes curiosity, and curiosity leads to great discoveries, inventions. As a child, I did not love books or reading. It often seemed like a very difficult task to me. Today, I would like to share with everyone why I believe books are the door to a new world and a means to make yourself better, not just during your childhood, but also during your lifetime. Let's start first by describing the problem that will occur in the future with our kids if we don't encourage them the importance of reading. The problem begins in an early childhood where parents do not introduce reading to their kids in a proper way. Therefore, when they get older, reading is not a common daily tradition, but also the education system is not well designed, having as a result many children that don't like to read and see this like a burden. Parents do not infuse the habit of reading to their children on a daily basis, and they prefer technology for obvious reasons because it's the easiest and fastest way out. An April 2019 article written by Jeff Grabner on the Ohio State University website explains the million word gap, a study led by Jessica Logan, that children whose parents read them 5 books a day enter kindergarten having heard about 1.4 million words. This helps them develop their vocabulary. Children's brains in the early years are like sponges that absorb a lot of information, which is why it's important to give them good and valuable knowledge on this time. By reading, they become more educated, aware, informed towards the world by simply knowing how others live and act. Now that we have discussed the problem of kids not reading enough on an average day, let's dive into what is causing this problem. It can be divided into 2 categories: not being introduced to books on an early age and technology. Kids don't have any direct contact with libraries or books in general since the new technologies appeared. In which technology started to increase, life has become much easier, and now everyone is used to having everything at the moment. Kids are becoming more impatient because their desires are instantly met with technology. According to Engadget, Microsoft did a study to 2,000 persons in which they found that humans are suffering from attention spams. In the year 2000, humans had an attention span of 12 seconds, and now the attention span decreased to 80 seconds. Technology devices have a huge deal in this century. Through technology, people communicate, information is passed on, etc. There is no doubt that technology is a very useful tool to everyone, but this tool is one of the major reasons kids are not taught to read. Today's parents suggest the only way to take advantage of technology in the fullest and not make it control us is by establishing screen time. Parents should introduce books and literature from an early age so kids get familiar with it. This way, when they get older, reading books is part of a daily routine. An article published on the American Psychological Association in August 2018 explained that less than 20% of U.S. teens read a book, magazines, or newspapers on a daily basis, while more than 80% say they use social media every day. Thousand different books that can be explored, but not everyone finds a right book at first. Books have been getting unread by people over years. Therefore, younger generations haven't had the chance to see the fabulence of books and all the magical things one can bring. Now let's continue with the solution. The solution for our problem is by teaching the kids in home. This would help them develop their brains, have a better grammar, build a sense of making effort, perseverance, not only with words but with actions. A kid copies what an adult is doing, and if a parent demands to a kid to read while they're on their phones, then that's not giving a good example, and of course is not the correct approach. The book How to Raise a Reader, written by Maria Russo and Pamela Paul, explains that it is important to expose children to diverse books that can help them connect to find similar interests, but also it will help them to learn new topics and prepare them for life. Kids shouldn't be allowed to have any mobile devices or any type of smart device until the age of 8. Parents should always have rules when using a device. For example, no more than an hour daily, only in the afternoon. According to Business Insider, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, the biggest founders and influential tech leaders in the world, limited time for their own kids on the iPad or other technology sources that were released at that time. Reading is not just a very important skill that we all should have. It's the means by which we grow and develop as human beings. Today I have discussed the importance of reading starting from a young age and some negative aspects that technology can cause. I also share some recommendations to solve the problem. Parents are the ones to set examples, and if they demand change in their kids, they should also change themselves. Never too late to start reading again and finding that magical book. We all have one, but we need to find it first. Books are a door to new worlds and new experiences that can change our life completely.